This is Cindy Manier from Aduda Book Creator. Today, I'm excited to share with you an update to 3 of our oldest tools. The tools that we've done an upgrade to are the Dot Grid Journal tool, the Line Journal tool, and the Graph Paper tool. We've given these tools an facelift, but more importantly, we've also added the ability to create printables in full color in addition to grayscale for KDP. We've also added the ability for you to add prompts or just a title to any of the pages that you want to. So let's get started. Let's start off with the Dot Grid tool. To get to the tool, click on Other Tools, Dot Grid Journal tool. This tool lets you create dot grid type pages, and you can also create isometric grid pages as well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to Book Settings and then pick out your trim size. Let's say we're doing 8 by 10, put in how many number of pages, and select whether or not you want to do bleed. After you select your settings, you want to go over here and click on the refresh button, and that will apply the settings that you just chose and show you what that page looks like. You can control the size of your dots in inches and the spacing of your dots in inches. So let's say we want to do isometric this time, and we want to do bigger dots, and we want to have them be further apart. Now let's hit the refresh button. Now we have much bigger dots. Some reasons you might want to use bigger dots are for visually impaired people, or if you're creating books for children. Now let's look at how you can set titles for your pages. You go under the title and prompt settings, and you have full control over where you want it. So this in from top means how far from the top of the page do you want your title to start. You have 4 different options for how you want to align your title. You can do center, you can left justify it or right justify it, and you can also alternate it between right and left. For example, if you wanted to have a date that's going to show up on the outside of each pages, depending on whether it's the left page or the right page, this will let you do that. And then you can also select what font you want to use. This can be any of your fonts that you've uploaded to your account fonts page. And then of course you can set the size. So let's just do a sample one. We're going to call it, let's just say, My Great Title as an example. And then if you refresh here, you're going to see it's going to put it over the dots that you already have. So one of the things that you can also do under the dot settings is select how much of the page you want to fill. So you can use this to move the dots down. Let's make these back smaller. 2. And now we'll refresh. You see that we have lots of teeny tiny dots and the title up here. Now if we wanted to go back and make this not be full bleed, you go back to Book Settings, unclick on that, and this is what that would look like. The other thing that you can do is change the color. So if you want to make printables, just switch from grayscale to color, and now you can set the background color, the dot color, and the title color all separately. So let's say you wanted to have a blue theme going here for your stuff. We'll just pick some different colors, and then we'll refresh. And now you have your background color. Probably wouldn't want something quite that dark, but you have full control over it, so you can make it lighter if you wanted to. And if you wanted to get crazy, you can make it really dark and then make your dots really light. And then you'd have to change your title to something that would show up. So you could do that. So this is a quick and easy way to create a prompt journal or any other kind of printable you want with any title you want. Let's show you what it looks like with the alternating. So let's do date, And let's switch it to, say, Roboto, alternate right and left. And if you do, let's put it back to grayscale, do a refresh. See, I want my title darker. And I want it up, the dots up higher. So I'll move that back up to, say, 94%. And then when you have the way you like it, then you click on the download button. And then when you look at that, let's pull the PDF over here. You see that the first one, the date's on the right-hand page, on the right-hand side, because the first page of the book is always on the right-hand side of the book. And then it'll alternate. Then you have the date on the left, and then the right, and then the left. That's a really quick and easy way to adjust your title from one side to the other. And then your PDF is all ready to upload to KDP. One of the other things you can do with this tool is add front and back matter pages. Front matter pages are things like a title, a copyright page, a This Journal Belongs To page. For this one, I'm going to do a title page and put a copyright page after that. And then for the back matter page, things you can put on the back matter are links to a lead magnet or links to other books to buy. Let's just do lead magnet for this one. And you click on the download button. And there's our book. There you go. It has my title page that I created in the LCB Designer, followed by a copyright page that I also created in the LCB Designer, and then our book pages. And at the end, it's my awesome lead magnet page. So it's just an easy way to, in one click, have your entire PDF created, and now it's all ready to upload to KDP. That's pretty much all the stuff you can do with our dot grid tool. Let's look at our lined journal tool next. With this tool, you can add both horizontal and vertical lines. You can set the size for your lines, the spacing in between your lines, the color of your lines. You can decide how much of the page to fill with your lines, and you can also add a title or prompts, and of course control the font size and color for your title or prompts as well. As always, you want to start off with your book settings. Let's do, say, an 8x10, 100 page. You can choose to do bleed or not to do bleed. If you do bleed, your lines will go all the way across the page like this. I'm going to stick with not bleed pages for now. Then you want to go and set your line settings. I'm going to fill 90% of the page because I'm going to go and add a title later on. Horizontal lines. I can also specify that I want to add vertical lines, and I can also specify how many lines I want. So I just want to have one line, and I want it to start about 1 inch in. So let's refresh and see what that looks like. So this is what I have. And if you wanted to, you can also specify how many horizontal lines. So let's say I just wanted 52 lines. Say I'm doing something for a weekly tracking every week in a year. So let's specify 52. And we're going to want our lines to start at maybe 0.25. Let's see what that does. There we go. That looks good. And now let's go and do our titles and prompts. So for this one, let's say I'm doing 52 weeks of, let's see, steps. So you're going to track the total number of steps per week per line or something like that. I can set the font I want. Let's go with the Merriweather. Let's center it. And let's make our font size a little bit smaller. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, so then they have all 52 weeks here. And we can go and now change the color settings. Now, if you wanted, you could do some color and you could make your vertical line be like a really pale pink or blue color, whatever color you want, and then make everything else be black. That's what that would look like. And if you really wanted to mix it up, you could set your background color. That's what that would look like. So you can separately set your background color, your title color, your line color, your horizontal line color, and your vertical color. So if we wanted a different color for our title, do that. And if you want to stick with grayscale, you can do that as well. Let's say we want our title to be really black, our vertical line to be a lighter color, and our horizontal line to be a little bit darker. And there you go. So it's really quick and easy, really fast. You can change things up however you want. Let's look at some other line settings. Let's say you wanted to have like a shopping list and you wanted to have a bunch of columns. So instead of having one vertical line, well, you could have 4 vertical lines. And this time I want to center them all so they'll be evenly spaced all the way across the page. So now they're all evenly spaced. Now you have a bunch of different columns. And let's say we wanted to change our title. So you might want to change it to shopping list. And let's say maybe you want to have a bunch of different kinds of lists. So we could have like different stores, like Costco shopping list, Target shopping list, Trader Joe's shopping list, Home Depot shopping list. You get the idea. You can have a bunch of different ones. And the cool thing about this tool is it's going to rotate through your list here. So the first page will have Costco shopping list as the title, and if we refresh this, you'll see that that's the one that pops up. The next one will have Target, then Trader Joe's, then Home Depot, then it's going to loop back up to Costco. These are all trademark names, so you wouldn't actually want to use these in any book you publish on KDP. This is just purely for an example. So how about we download that and see what that looks like. Book. All right, let's pull that in here. So now you see you have Costco, then Target, then Trader Joe's, Home Depot, then back to Costco, Trader Joe's, Home Depot, etc. Let's go back to line settings and do another example. Say we just want to do a prompt journal. So we're not going to have any vertical lines at all. Let's redo that, see what that looks like. And instead of sticking with 52 lines, we're just going to have it do however many lines fit in this area. And now we have all these lines. So now what we can do is go and cut and paste a list of prompts to put in here. So I have a spreadsheet where I created 100 prompts. I'm going to cut and paste them in here. And in this instance, I want it to be 100 pages because I want to have one prompt per page. And I want them to be different for the entire book. So we go ahead and preview that. I think I want a little bit more fancy of a font. There we go. I like that one, but now I want the font size to be bigger. There we go. So now I can download that, and it's going to have all of my prompts, one per page. Wasn't that quick and easy? Now I have a prompt journal with 100 different prompts, and it's all ready to upload to KDP. The only thing that would make that better would be adding front and back matter pages. So I am going to add a title page followed by a copyright page. Then I'm going to add a This Journal Belongs To page. And because I want this to start on the right-hand page and not on the back of This Journal Belongs To page, I'm going to add a blank page. So all of these were created in the LCB Designer. If you go in the LCB Designer, you can just click on the blank page option and then save it and call it blank page, and now you have a blank page to add in anywhere in a case like this where you don't want anything on the back of a particular front matter or back matter page that you're adding. So we're going to go to the back matter pages, and let's add my awesome lead magnet page. And then let's say I want to do a blank page because I don't want this to be on the back of that. And then I can add my other books to buy page. So now I'm all ready to click on the download. And here is my final PDF. See, it's got my awesome title page followed by my copyright page, This Journal Belongs To page, blank page, and then my 100 pages with the prompts. And then it ends with ends with my awesome lead magnet page, then a blank page. And then if you love this book, you'll love these books. It has all these other awesome books that people can go buy at the end of the book. These are really good things to add to your books. The front matter pages are going to make your book look more professional. If you have a title page and a copyright page, and people love to have the This Journal Belongs To page where they can put their contact info if they leave their book. And then having these at the back of your book are going to really help you and your business. Having a lead magnet is a great way for you to collect emails and generate your own email list that you can talk to directly. That is vital to having a successful business. And then being able to advertise your other books for this same pen name is also invaluable. So if they love the one book that they just bought from you and you tell them, oh, look at these other awesome books that I also have out that you're going to love, chances are they're going to go and buy one or more of these other books as well. So it's just going to increase your revenue. So keep that in mind when you're making books and create those things. And that's pretty much the line journal tool. Let's go and look at the last tool I'm going to talk about today, which is the graph paper tool. So the graph paper tool generates graph paper pages. Hey, big surprise there, right? And in this tool, you can control the size of these squares to generate different size graph paper. You can control how thick your lines are. You can control the color of the lines, how much of the page you want to fill with lines. And you can also, as in the other two, add titles or prompts and control your font size and the color of your text. To start off, you're going to go to book settings and set your trim size. Let's do 8.5 by 11. Number of pages, you can select bleed or full bleed. So if you do full bleed, your graph paper is going to extend all the way to the edge of your page. If you're trying to create books that are just straight graph paper, this is the setting you're going to want to use. So let's look at the graph settings. So you can create with prompts and you can fill like half the page or the whole page, whatever you want to do. Depending on what kind of book you're trying to make, you can control the thickness of your lines, and you can also set the size of your squares. And both of these are in inches, and you need to make sure that your thickness number is smaller than your squares number. Otherwise, you're just going to have a whole black page, and that's not going to look good, and you don't want that. I gave you some little tips down here. So if you're going to create half-inch square graph paper, use 0.5 for your squares size here. So let's show you what that's going to look like. There you go. If you want to create quarter squares, also known as 4x4 or quad rule, then put 0.25 here. And that's what that looks like. And then if you want 1/8 squares, you put 1.25. Depending on what type of book you want to make, that's going to influence what you use here. So think about what people are going to use it for, and that'll help you decide what to do here. So let's show you, let's say we wanted to fill half the page. That's what that will look like. And let's use bigger squares. That's what that would look like. And if you want to make these, if you're using bigger squares, you can use thicker lines. That's how that would look. So one of the things you can use squares for is for grid, what's called grid drawing. So let's create a page for that. So let's move this back up to 90%. And let's say we're going to say draw a Christmas tree. Let's use a different font just for fun. And as with the other tools, you can change the colors. So if we're doing a Christmas one, let's make this Christmassy colors and put my title in, say, a red color. The title's in red. And how fun would it be to put our lines in green for the Christmas tree? That's pretty cool, huh? Let's also show you what that would look like if it wasn't full bleed. So it really just depends on what you're trying to do, which way you want to go with it. But again, if you wanted to have a whole bunch of different things to draw, you could have more than one line here. So what are some other Christmas things? Draw Santa. Draw a snowflake. Draw a manger. Draw a reindeer. Draw an elf. So you get the idea. So you can have all these different prompts and then download your book. And here's what it's going to look like. So it's got draw a Christmas tree, draw Santa, draw a snowflake, draw a manger, draw a reindeer, draw an elf, and then it's repeating because I only did that number. Well, that's a quick way to generate a book with lots of different titles, with different stuff on each page. One of the things I'd like to use it for is for like everyday pages. So you can do, say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's fix that. So now we have something for every day of the week. And using the alternate right left is kind of a good way to do this because it's going to move it around on each side. Say we want to use a different font like Pacifico. Let's get a preview, see if we like it. And let's go back to grayscale. Let's have my title in black, my lines a little bit darker. I'll hit the refresh. There you go. And now if we download the whole book, so we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then starts back at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it's a really easy way to do a weekday book really quickly without having to add all the text yourself on every page, which I hate to do. I like things that make it fast and easy for me to get a book done. And again, with the graph paper tool, you can also do the front and back matter pages. So let's say that we're just going to have a title page, Or maybe this time we'll just do this journal belongs to page. And again, we're going to want a blank page and a hey, buy my other great books page. And now you have that all ready to upload to KDP. Quick and simple. And there you have it. And that is how to use these 3 tools with the new interface. We will be adding this new sidebar type interface to our other tools as well in the future. But I was really excited about the ability for you guys to do printables with these 3 tools, so I wanted to get this up right away because I know a lot of you are looking into doing that in the new year. And if you have any questions about how to use any of these tools, you can ask them in the comments below or ask them in my Facebook group.